Okay, morning guys. All right, so I'm just getting myself organized here. Just want to keep an eye on things. Dow decided to do. Dow's been a bit of a chop, dropped, and then not doing too much now. Could be a flush. I think a lot of the news just gets soaked up day in, day out. So, all right. So, welcome to Trade Setup. As I should really say hi. And we've got the live stream, so we'll see how it all goes. The stream's open and everything working. See that? Bit of a flush. I think everyone's just waiting for the Hang Seng to open now. No, that's not what I was asking. Just go there. I talk to my stuff a lot. There we go. All right, so we had this bit of a sell-off. It was a bit of news that come through. Hey, Steve-O. Bit of news that come through. I thought it may have had something to do with stimulus. I saw some headline about stimulus there. They were coming to agreements. The last headline you see, and then somebody put up something about Pelosi ripping up some sort of agreement they had, or the stimulus, which I thought it might have been a bit negative, but that when I saw that, it was still a while after until the news got come through about Iran and Russia meddling in elections again. I think Trump's got a bit of he's got to foot the bill for that meddling. But yeah, that's what it must have set up market low. But it seems to be the Dow starting to find a base. We got the Nikkei did drag down, so initial thrust down with the Dow, and then it's gone smashed again. But the Dow hasn't gone with it. It looks like it's it's probably going to get supported. We've got the Hang Seng. G'day, Brooke. The Hang Seng with these lows. Sorry, lows. What am I talking about? This was the close roughly at 6 a.m. On the Hang Seng, which was 677. Yeah, just under 100 points up from here. The market wasn't doing too bad until it just got knotted through that support. But don't forget, this is CFDs. That's only going off. I mean, if you look at that chart, and the this one here. Oh, what's it? The Dow? No, it's not the Dow. Was the Dow? The Dow, pretty much the same. If you look at number 5 on the Hang Seng, according to where the overall market's going to be, or where it's going to open anyway. What's going on here? So it's asking me to do that. I'm getting asked to edit something. I don't want to. Sorry, it's just this YouTube stuff again. That should do it. Okay. Intraday, yeah. All right, let's get back to the start. Hi there, guys. Welcome to Trade Setup. I just saw your comment, the Mordrax. I just saw your comment. Oh God, I'm a machine today. A bit of a mess. I was trying to trade this this move down. I didn't get that, and I thought we're going to extend that. Bad news, da da da. But everything, all bad news comes to an end in the US. So yeah, I was going over that till I realised I had it muted again. So that's great. I'm pretty sure I'm loud and clear now. Yeah, what a goose. Gotta love it. Sort of. All right. So welcome again. Let's get back to start. So we had that bit of a sell-off, and it was obviously, I thought it was, I think I was saying, got to do with Pelosi ripping up some sort of contract, what would you call it? Stimulus bill. And I saw the photo. She's wearing exactly the same stuff as what she was wearing when they were talking about it. So um, just Googled some headlines. I didn't really see anything that was saying that. And plus, the market didn't really move too much. It really wasn't. It was on the back foot a bit, but it didn't move on the back of the news. And the news was out for a while until saw the Iran headline pop up, and obviously market sold off, and that's what triggered it. I don't know exactly the details, but I guess it's just interference in elections again. But you're going to get a big flush. The Dow was probably primed to flush that zone anyway. You can see lower highs holding into it. Step down here and then just jam down. So, if you're not on the front foot and you're trying to trade the lows, those news breaks really, they can kill you. As in, they flushed down, and I was shorting in here. I got stopped out, shorted in here, flushed this down, and then took it out just below break even. So just above break even. Made a small gain. So all in all, went nowhere. Which was frustrating. I thought that might have jammed down a bit more. So I was waiting for this, and then you got this pullback, and it got soaked right up here. In the meantime, the Hang Seng had just got thumped, and it was just up until here we started to grind back up, and the Dow sort of was quick to chop back up with it. And looking at the Dow, I wouldn't be surprised that to break up through this level at 28,090, and we start to reverse those losses. But we're just going to be sitting there watching, probably waiting. I don't think the Dow wants to do too much until we get their Hang Seng underway. So that's the chart for HSI, Hang Seng. That looks negative, like it could break down, but don't forget that's just your CFD pricing. So we'll have to wait and see if it hovers below this level at 24,610. The close of the night session was, I think it was somewhere, it could have been somewhere up here, say the 700 mark. So you give or take 100 points below the close. So we'll just wait and see as it starts to move around. That's why I'm sort of assuming a bit of back and fill back up to where it was on the close, purely because they flush, everything's flushing everyone. Everyone's picking on everyone. It looks like a great sell, and it pops back up and flushes them, so it looks like a buy, and they'll flush the lows. It's just churning until we get the open and get some sort of direction. The SPY was knocked down as well, and look at that, made its way back up again. So kind of a bullish move, big flush, big bounce. It's just too easy to play around with these markets at the moment. It seems you get news coming out, and they just take the opportunity to flush, and then they bounce straight back again. Not all the time, but I thought that news might have been a bit negative. It just goes to show that we're really just waiting around to see what happens with elections. Market is going to get some volatility. It's going to chop around, but I think all in all, they'll generally hold up. It'll be intact until the elections. So we all, stimulus was hoping it's going to come on before elections. There's going to be something before elections. And I think previously talk of it not being for elections was sort of sell off. Now talk of it not being in elections, no one really cares, because we're all just saying, yep, there's going to be some sort of stimulus, and the US dollar is, it's pushed below that 93 zone. Basically saying stimulus is getting factored in, or maybe even a higher stimulus package than what originally thought. So this Dow here gave in. Dow here, we'll see if that scoops it up. We might get a bit of a lift. It'd be nice to see if it does. Yeah, if it does something, to be honest. That's the 1 minute saying. But essentially now we're starting to flatten out, holding below the 20 EMA, below this whole moving average, but it just doesn't seem to want to get a bit of a run on. Like I said, I think we'll just be sitting around waiting for the US. DAX. What am I talking about? Hang Seng. I'll spit that out. I mean, that could be a short there, but I just, after that flush, we bounced back pretty hard from there, flushed the level out again, bounced back, went down there, tested it again, we bounced back. We bounced back 3 times now. This is a lower high forming. It could be brewing, but you watch this, will probably get to grind down, and then the Hang Seng might open more positive than you think. Pop, clean everyone up on the short side. So really, it's about this time I'm going to try to focus maybe on just the Hang Seng. Now, there was some currency moves yesterday, which is a shame because it was during this time about net. Well, actually coming to the stream probably at 12:30, they started kicking off a bit. You'll see that was at 6:30. So that was after. There was one on the. No, sorry, that was. So from this session onwards. Let's get back to a 5-minute chart. I just want to see where they. Yeah, look, that wasn't not really, not much in that. It wasn't that one I was looking at. It could be in I think it was the US yen. I was looking at this earlier on for some weakness, but then just didn't follow it, to be honest. And it was really in these zones, I think, somewhere around 12:30 yesterday. I think. Yeah, there we go. It was about here when it started to grind low, and you know that the US dollar was starting to drop as well. So if I had my eye on that, it could have been a good little setup. And if you look at coming off these highs too, we propped through the highs, consolidated here, which is kind of an important point just in here. You'll see that consolidation there. Back at this zone, not a massive zone, but that push through consolidation, and then we start to drop from there. That really probably was a key lower high to see if you can trade into on the short side. And it did play it out. I mean, if you could have held that, it would have been nice. But that was the one that I did see this morning. It looked really, really nice. I think the Aussie bounced. Don't know where it was trading. We're on a 5, so. So about that time, well, around here, I mean, that probably working off this higher low was good. If you could work off this higher low, would have been nice. Would have been a bit tough. I mean, you see that, and it was just a grind down in the US dollar, and it really didn't stop. We got to about here. I think it was the open of the European session when we got some chop because Europe's was down. So I would have expected that US dollar to rally, as more of a safe haven, but it didn't. It kept chugging down right up until about mid US session. So I think once the Aussie was sitting around here and start to realize that US dollar's not going anywhere, it's still going down, then it started to lift again, and it got a bit of a run on. Would have been a nice little zone just in here, as you saw, just through here. This support started to hold. You got another high low just in here. Anticipating this break of that zone, higher low. If you bought in there, would have been quite nice, and that was a nice little trend up. Let's just see if that's. So trading that could have been quite fruitful. Yeah, so we're going to try and just see if we keep an eye on it today, just to see what happens. I just suggest that we're going to get a bit of a bounce. We are getting a bit of a bounce into the US dollar at this stage. So look at this grind down the US on the Dow. I'm thinking we're going to pop, just a lack of a better term, screw over the shorts. That SPY is, it's a bit of a machine. Just going to go to the ASX. It's a bit of a flush here, a bit of a bounce back on the 30. Yesterday's action, where it did sort of nothing, I thought it might have been negative today, but it's hard to take advantage of the negative open on the ASX unless you trade the futures into the close and you're up nice and early. Even then, it's a bit tough. So we've got that got beaten down. It's back into this zone here around 61, bouncing off 61 at the moment. So expect to probably could have a bit more of a bounce on the ASX today. Just see how it all goes. I mean, if we start to get another meltdown, don't expect too much out of it. Still, there's a few shares that are not really kicking on too much. So I was looking at this WSP. Don't like how high it got, but then it's been smashed. The last couple of days got really polax. So let's see if we can hold around here. That was a big flush lower. And if we can hold in here, I don't like the flush lower. I like to see it sort of going down and run out of steam, not bounce. One clear way, a clear day of just clear selling, and then a bit of a bounce back. Can you see the right-hand side of the screen okay? Yep. All right, good. All right, let's get organised for the Hang Seng. All right, so HSI, the index, we're up at this zone here. We pushed in it quite a few times, pushed in, rejected, pushed in, rejected, pushed in, and actually failed off it yesterday as well. Potentially you got a lower high in here, so be wary that we don't jam through 733 on the open, which is a good chance that we will. We're going to open a bit weaker. It's just whether or not it continues on with it, because the mood has been still fairly bullish, even when we did the same thing. We backed off here like this and then consolidated the day after that, where it was that one session. I'm just going to check. Now that was two sessions. So the second session started roughly here. And the next session you would have expected maybe that's going to roll. That's going to roll off this, it's rejected again, it's going to roll. It started getting supported back at 24,450. So whether we're going to do the same and just jam straight into 600, we'll just wait and see. So yeah, that's it doesn't look too healthy up here. There's nothing to say that is not just going to keep creeping higher. Push through this zone, and it's like I said, had a couple of days here probably there, then failed, pushed here, pulled back. So we might get. I mean, there's nothing to say we did this and then we gapped down and we trade down all day. This day wasn't so bearish at all. It really just kept getting lifted, and then yesterday gapped up, strong move up on the open, and then we backed off, and then sort of popped up again after that. But really holding that level. Just jump on the 5. I mean, that's kind of whippy action. Wait and see. So we're really, all in all from the index itself. Let's just get the futures. Hang Seng is the futures 5. So at the close, it was here. Let's just mark that up. Is it there? 7 o'clock. That's roughly where the futures was. All right, so since then, the futures have dropped. Well, it did drop 740. It's only really 30 points. So it wasn't looking too bad. Potentially just having a bit of a weaker open on the index. But now, if where are we? God, that Aussie's really gone, hasn't it? That's an absolute reaming. Any bears just got caught there, didn't they? And how do you know after that flush lower that that little high low is going to lead to 40-point rally? Good old SPY. They don't muck around, do they? Drag you in and drag you back out, kicking and screaming. All right. And the Dow's had like a little pop. Dow's popped what 20 points, so nothing to be riding home about. It's the Hang Seng. We're back 610. Sort of say somewhere around here, 700. So another 100 points, roughly 100 points. So that's suggesting the index is going to open down about 120 at this stage. We've still got 25 minutes until we know where the futures are going to be and what they're going to do, and where it's going to be positioned for the open of the index itself at 12:30. Yeah, you've got these basically a support, which you'd expect the index, the futures going to break that on the open because they're lower, probably gap down slightly. This level here, 24,679, and then just capping. It's not really a level, 24,720. It's more, well, not particularly this inside zone either, but lower, lower highs are still edging down, but it's more contraction because you're looking at this action here. That's from yesterday, popped down. We built some support at 24,610. So I'm expecting we're going to open there. It's just where to from there. We're going to blast through. We could open a bit higher and then blast through that support, which means it's just going to flush out because that's not flushing out anything. A move down when the futures are open is going to flush out the futures levels, which is, it's the key levels. It's not, which is, I'm going to get that a bit cleaner. Starting to get messy. Just in here. 620. So that's about 100 points. So that sort of matches off where the CFD is trading at the moment, about 100 points lower than futures close. So if it gaps down here, it'd be interesting to see what it does. Flush and return like this, and then chop around and start to lead to some bullish action, or a bit of back and fill, and then dive, take a nosedive. Or I think it's really going to be about this level. We thump through it, retest from underneath, and keep going down, which would lead you to believe there's going to be a decent move down on the Hang Seng. So the Hang Seng ended up just under 1%, 184 points up, and I think it was more than that when we were trading. It was around 200, just over. It was 1%. So it backed off into the close, but that's Europe got knocked around a bit. The US actually didn't. If you look at the US market, they got some support zones, which is just hovering around at the moment to the 30-minute charts. You can see you've got this zone through here and just an inside little minor level which is probably just broken on the futures, just broken it. If it matches off to the futures, it just broke it today and it's bouncing back again. So it's probably extended into this level and it's bounced back. That's the S&P anyway, but the Dow, look at the Dow futures are pretty much the same. It's got this zone through here, around 28, 160, 150, which even, with the US, the European Open, the US actually managed to open and pop up, rally from the open, and then was just holding. You can just see that levels were holding all day, all night, just lower levels, but this support zone was holding quite nicely. Okay, so you've got to keep chip it in, get bought up. Where you go and look at the DAX, was just one sell-off. I think that was the open there, 6 o'clock. It was just a constant sell-off, even into the close. It held those losses into the close. And the UK market the same. They got some issues over there. They've got Brexit still trying to work their way through, and they've got virus cases kicking up. US have too, I'd assume. I mean, unless they're not testing anymore, but I think their numbers are creeping up as well. It's just whether or not they're going to put emphasis on it. They're just looking towards, I guess, stimulus. So it's really a bit of a mixed bag at the moment. You're going to get some volatility, and everyone's got every reason to be bearish, but there's so many false starts, it makes it very hard to get on sort of something on the short side, especially during the day. The Dow might move at night. and he gets a couple of 100 points, you could potentially look at the YM. The Dow here, what was that trading at? This little flat spot. See, my mouse just disappears. Very, very strange on this. So it just goes, comes back. So if you're selling it through there, 093, so that was today. What am I talking about? Up here, off these highs, you got back into the highs here, flush down, bounce straight back again, bit of a sell-off, bit of a bounce on the open. What was the open, wasn't it? 9 o'clock. A bit of a bounce here, and then it drops. So if you're trading short on the short side there, following that down, 564. Yeah, it's a couple of 100-point drop, isn't it? 400 or so. So that's a decent effort. All right. So I'm just going to fluff around a tad until we get that's what I want, the futures. So the futures themselves don't look too bad. You've got a bit of a flag, whatever you want to call it. This thing here, and if we're going to, I would expect that we're going to extrapolate that a bit lower. Just 1 second. I've got my wife's got a dress up day today. That's pretty cool. Yep. She stole my makeup yesterday and stole my clothes today. Oh, she's probably practicing. So they've got it's book week, I think it is, and they've got these costumes. My wife's going as Sleeping Beauty, and she got a class to go as, what do you call it, dwarfs. She sent me a photo there. It's pretty cool. And my little daughter, she's gone as Sleeping Beauty as well, the mini me. So apparently, my wife was saying she got filmed. Win News or something got filmed her, so she'll be on the news today. If you get Win News, I'll see if I can. I have to get a snapshot of it. You can watch it tonight. I don't know what time it's going to be on, but assume 5, 6 o'clock, thereabouts. All right, so that's the futures, and if you're expecting it to be opening down, I mean, if it opens high from here, it could stick to this high low and sort of blow out any bears that might be around today. It just depends. It's really, we're just trying to waiting to gauge to where it's going to open. Looks like it's going to bounce back. That 610 level is kind of the clincher, isn't it? It's the Dow. So the Dow's just creeping higher. Nikkei's just bounced back. So they've had their flush prior to the open. The one that's bouncing back is just getting out of hand. That's just nuts. That's what we say. If you can trade the SPY, well, my opinion, you're a legend. So that's 30, isn't it? Yep. So big bounce back there, big flush of that low, which maybe that wasn't going to happen up until the news, and the news just flushed it, and they've just thumped it straight back again. So if you were short in here, you've well and truly been cleaned up. And if you're going to go long through here, I don't think it's a very high probability move. Just wait and see what this Hang Seng does. All right. What else do you reckon we have today? Indicators. So I've got the CCI here, but I don't really look at it too much. I don't know why it's there. Sort of just was playing around with it. MACD I like to use for momentum. trying to gauge momentum when you've got to move on, or what's the overall momentum. And then I've got a HMA, whole moving average, about 20 to 25, give or take. And then I've got an exponential moving average. So I generally have the 20 and the 50, but I'm just trying something a bit different today, taking the 50 off, trying to stick with that, just the 20 on the Hang Seng, just to see how we go today. So I'll type that in. Do ZM stock. ZM is the bonds, is it? Stock analysis. ZM, what code's that? Zoom on the NASDAQ. Guessing it's Zoom. I'll get it to the daily, the start of the daily. Yeah, Zoom's ripping up at the moment. Bit of a pullback just at this stage, but what I don't particularly like to see is when the whole goes below the 50. But I would be anticipating a bit of a correction, but contractive action like this. Once you start going over a bit of contraction, then it picks up again. So what you've got here is you got away from those MAs. This is the longer term. What is that? I always forget. Oh, hang on, that's not what I want. Let's get rid of that now. That'll do. Oh, come on, Brad. This bloody mouse is freezing up. All right. Oh, so much of that MA. Anyway, we'll go to that 200. You know that move up's getting a tad extended. Okay, so you've had, look, the whole thing's getting a bit extended, to be honest. If you're going to buy up here, good luck to you. There's always people that will, don't get me wrong. But if you're going to buy up there without, if I was going to look at this, I'd want to see some sort of corrective action, before we start to level out a bit and we start to get that high low. So it's all about that for me. You want this leg to correct, but you want buyers to be soaking it up on the way down. Now, if it just keeps grinding higher from there and you're long, fantastic. But if you're short, if you're not anything, you're looking to get in, I would find that hard to trade. I would much prefer to go somewhere else with my money and put it somewhere else. Just because of that extension up, that's not a near vertical move, it's close to. That the extent to that rally has been quite strong, whereas previously it was a lot more contained. That move up was a bit contained. Had a minor, you could say, pullback, more consolidation here, and then it's just ticked off again. So whether it's been news driven, it's doing quite well. Who knows? I don't really follow that if that's the case, if that's the one you're looking at. But yeah, I'd be looking for that kind of action if you want to see higher levels and see it. You want to see it pull back, and any weak hands, you say, any weak holders that are weak get squeezed out. But you want to see the buyers start to soak it up on that squeeze, on that pullback, on that contraction. And if you can get something in here where you start to hold some higher levels, you know that could be significant enough, depending on the time it's taken and how much you can feel that it's been squeezed out. And if it starts to lift on some volume, then great. But it's got earnings that will be coming up, won't it? It looks of it. All right, so that's it. We'll get on to back to Hang Seng, just see where these futures are looking at the moment. Got a bit of a pop. So we're that big flush, that's call it the CFD flush. We're sort of heading back up to level 679. So we've reclaimed 610, and we're sort of heading back up again, which would suggest that, what are we now? 36. So still 70 points down. Just want to see where the index itself, futures. There we go. 710. So what did I say about 70 points? 70 points takes us somewhere around. Look, it's going to take us somewhere around the support. So you're going to get potentially this kind of thing, and then see what happens from here. Don't be surprised if we just go smack straight down. Well, I would expect the way we're looking at the moment that we will flush down, and be interesting to see if we can hold that zone. See if we can mark that up on what is that futures price? I was there. Oh, it's not right. You know that's going to be, you can't really mark it up on the CFD, because the CFD pricing, you have these chunks. It's like, you draw a line there. It's like the futures trading starting right over here, and all that time when it's been closed is showing up, and then it gaps down. You go, oh, we've broken support, but you haven't really. Oh, didn't work out. So there's my index. So where's that there? Just in here. So just making sure I've got all the levels that I just want to keep an eye on. Let's close that, open up a new one. Dow's pretty much sideways at the moment, isn't it? See, Bitcoin took off last night as well, which I didn't expect that. That was another one that sort of moved in the Aussie session, in the Asian session. Why isn't it keeping it? All right, so a few more minutes and we'll see what happens. Dow's not. Quiet. I'll just be watching it. So sorry about that. The Nikkei's creeping back up to where it broke out. That support zone broke out. Maybe it's going to retest. Who knows? This all comes down to what the Hang Seng does. I wonder if that's going to give us something. It's just sort of scooping up. You think it's going to roll. It's coming back to the 20 MA. So ideally, what I'd like to be is on the one. I don't really want the 20 above the 50, but see, it's just got above the 20. So I don't think that's going to be a short anytime soon. Right, so that should be about a few seconds to go, and it's going to freeze. So it's going to be opening around the 610 mark. So it's going to be a decent enough gap down in the futures market, which might break out of that. What we're talking about could be below. It's going to be more towards this zone. It's potentially where it should be opening. Just looking at the index. Just forget close a few things. Alrighty. Should open now. Oh, wrong one. Hope you can't hear too much slurping. So it's getting knocked down a bit, which is a bit. It's getting thumped a bit. Let's just see what the Dow bit has gone with it. Oh no, the Dow's holding up okay. It's a bit of a savage flush in the open. I don't know what this is going to do. Hey, Jace. Didn't want to listen to my ramblings, hey? Here for the open. Cheeky. I do ramble a lot if I've got nothing much to talk about. I even was rambling for about 5 minutes before I realised I had the mute button on. Exactly, mate. I was shorting that drop, waiting for that pullback, got the pullback, shorted it, and it bounced straight back again. So every time it was heading down, you could just see the buyers banging it back up. So they weren't really willing to give it a kick on. So it's probably the wrong time for it to happen, to be honest, with Hang Seng about to open. The Dows, I'm expecting it to get something, but we'll see. You've got the MAs have just drifted back up again, which is a problem. Yeah, I don't want that. Hang Seng's bouncing back quite strong. It's a big flush on the futures, which would suggest 70, what did we say? 700, 150 points down. So we'll just go look at where the futures, 150 points down from here, 6,570, somewhere in here. So it's actually, I don't like the circles. Somewhere down here means where it's open. Yeah, it's flushed down through these lows. Rising uptrend, it potentially broken. If I've got it spot on, it still looks like it's broken. Get that sort of bounce. See if there's weakness that comes in. Yeah. Don't know what's happening now. I didn't have enough. We just shorted looking for another press down here, but we'll see if we get it. No, wouldn't think so right now. probably going to hover around this support zone. It's big flush and then stop there. So on the spy where I'm Jace. And that Dow's getting to that point where you want to see something happen, but yeah, I sort of this big flush down. So we're looking at there's going to be a big gap down the index itself. It's bounced back pretty well. So the futures closed it here at 6 a.m. around the 700 mark. We're looking at around 600, down 100 at the moment on the index, and they closed a little bit lower than where the index was when it closed. So it's just a whippy mess. I wouldn't mind seeing a bit of a flush up. You clean out some of these shorts from the open, which could happen, can happen quite a bit. At this stage, it's choppy either way. So much for cleaning out shorts. So it's going to go, you want to see pop up, hold here, and then roll. Just don't trust that it's down here. No. Oh, she's not doing much. We've got two positions on, break even and up. So that's the index, looking to be down over 100, 766 somewhere. Could be down here. 650, maybe a bit lower than that. If it doesn't open as weak as what they expect, we might get a bit of a bounce, but 3 more minutes until that index opens. The futures are down somewhere here. So it's starting to break down. We could get just this big flush down on the index, gap down, and just really clean up a lot of longs that would have built up the last few sessions. Is it? I don't see that. Oh God, good old chart, hey? Better lift your game, mate. Computer might have a meltdown again today. Oh, I was waiting for that. Oh, no, where are we? Index is going to open in just a minute. And it's 671. Probably not quite as weak as what we expected. Let's just go back to one chart. I don't need that. Futures. It's whether or not we start to, get through that, and may only push down what 588. Looks like 40, 50 points. It's not. Look at that lift. They're all in tandem. you just see, you'll just watch that, the action, that lifts, and then you've got also 80, 82, they're just boom. Look at that's lifting them, and it's not, I don't know, they're following each other, but it seems to be they get hit at the same time. It's not like one's pausing half the time, but they do start to kick off. Markets are quick to watch each other, though, I guess. I mean, that sort of rally was quite a good rally. Bang, bang, same time. Whether or not this US, it looks like it wants to hold this level. I mean, this was the same here. When I was short in there, this shouldn't have happened. We shouldn't have got this. If it was a negative market, I mean, I should have got out. I tried to give it some room, and it was right in here. And I think I was short from just a little bit above. And I was in here going, no, it should not have broken back up the way it did if it was a weak market, because the Dow can go, and if it's not going to go, you're going to have to just look at it and just assess. It's not the weakness that you thought, so you're better off just to get out. And the same here. You've got this sell-off down here. People will be chasing it in this spot, turn around and squeeze straight back out again. The Hang Seng, we just got that flush down here, and we're not getting that weakness. It's popped straight back up again. So it's whether or not the market wants to. It can look like it's going to go down, but it doesn't mean it's going to. So that news, it's like no one really gives too much of a hoot. Was that Nikkei's, flushed and bounced, same sort of this flush and then it's bounced. Aussie market's probably just sitting around there just waiting for everyone to go back up again. Holding on. Everyone rallies, they go with it. So still getting this move down on the index itself. I don't want to short this because I don't feel that I'm going to get caught in a bit of chop, or I'm just going to completely miss out on a good move. So I need to set up, I need the 20, hold below the 20 heading south, basically momentum down, and then the setup is not going to come. Not going to come, is it? There's a good chance the next minute's going to, 5 minutes candle's going to start in a minute. We could just go straight to 46, 446, which is 140 points thereabouts. Would like that to happen, but I would like a short setup in the meantime. So it could be the same as what we're doing here. Push down and keep rejecting and rejecting. We could set up here. So what we've done, chopped it out. We've just sort of hover around that previous low. I don't think that'll be a short, but if we chop around here for too long, I'll probably be short through 38. Be quick enough. That 5 doesn't look too crash hot though, so. I've just gone short, a small amount, see if it that can continue down. bounce back here and I'll be out. I think I'm good at picking the lows on a short and picking the high on a buy at the moment. Yeah, it's not a real. The index is coming down, so it keeps pushing down. It's just going to keep squeezing, but it's not too convincing, is it? I think it's a fire could kill me. That's not getting follow through. Was sort of not really that these are lows, but is it low 230? So that was the opening low. We're just holding on lows. It could just flush back up. So yeah, I'll probably get stopped here. I don't know. Yep, now. Okay, it didn't work. So first trade, 0. Don't rub it in, mate. What I'm trying to do is just stick with the momentum, with the MAs, but got to remembering too that major flushes on the open. Probably better to look for that zone on the 5 and then trade off the 1. A lot of the times this can, like we get that little push down and then it slams down and it really extends. I was more or less hoping that it would do something like that. Dow probably bouncing back, I'm assuming. That's it, I'm going to close these down. They're annoying me. Why doesn't that want to? It's not the world's best looking chart. What's that Dow doing? I'm just getting a feeling that Dow wants to rip up. Still messy down there, so what we got is the index is stretched on the open. That's the 30-minute chart. Let's go to the 5. That's like I said, stretched on the open. And the market's just trying to figure out what it's doing. Maybe it's that zone's going to hold up. We might get a good rally. So that's kind of the thing I've got my eye on at the moment. Whether we can get that or not, it's a different story. So yeah, look at the Dow too. I haven't got it up just to close it down. Dow looks like it wants to go too. So I'm going to go long the Dow, I think. So that's the oh look, maybe we won't just look at that 5. 5 could roll. Same token, just looks like it wants to squeeze up here. It's going to be on. So what you've got is push down, pop back up, retest, push down, rejected the lows, come all the way back up here, retest, slam down again, and we're grinding back up. The 1 doesn't particularly look like it wants to do too much. You just got this that there, suckering in a fit. So we've got smashed up. Anyone short in here got smashed up. Any shorts grinding in here, that could easily get chopped on a pop. If we start to hold this for too long, I'm expecting that. It's just where, how, when, why. They're going flicking around opposite ways at the moment. I mean, technically on the 1, it's still a short, a very unconvincing short. Yeah. Are you long HSI? Yep. that doesn't look so great, which could launch. But so much for that. Still that Dow. Bit of grind here. We're coming into this, see if we can hold through here. You see a little zone. It takes some time to catch up, doesn't it? You know what I mean? You can see some zone through here, which kind of matches in just where we're reacting off now. This to me, I don't like we did that. We're sort of flushing, like not sure whether this index wants to go back up or down at the moment. We're sort of gap down and we're paused on the index. And I would like that index to give us something more than just that and go down from here, which it could. So I've just got to keep an eye on that. 5. But like I said, we did that. Was it this session? It was that session, wasn't it? Chopping around, we head south, so there's potentially that. Look, did the reverse though. We do this, we might just chop around off that support. Would expect it's going to lift soon if it's going to. It doesn't. This doesn't look like a short to me. Yeah, it is confused. We've got that news come out. The market's reacted to it, so everyone's sort of like, "Oh, hang on a sec, what are we doing?" And then this could be a short through 45, but I'm not confident after this rush. So we've got low, flush, hold, new lows. If it's going to hold, we're just letting the sellers get a bit of confidence. Pop, another retest, tried to go low there, run straight back up again, going down. We potentially just holding this as a high low, but MAs are down. It's kind of like, well, which way are you going to go? Yeah. I just say it wants to grind higher, but has the memory of the flush exactly, which makes it tough. That doesn't look too crash hot. What's a 5 looking like? We'll just beware of that Dow. It could just slam straight up. I think I'm gonna want to buy that. Oops. Actually, no, I'm not. I see if we can. I mean, the thing is, it's just doing that ramps, hold ramp. It's going to go. It's probably going to go. I'd rather trade off a insides, high low, but pop down and see if it can slam up again. It doesn't want to seem to do that. So the index is grinding a bit. Nothing much on that chart, is there? See if this can hold in here. It might pop up through that level. Say through these highs, it might extend, but SPY, you're right. Trap or go. Big SPY's probably the only one when you got a big rally in the back of your head. It can just keep going. I'd be thinking weakness after that sort of spike, that big run back up off the lows on the SPY, but I don't think everyone else thinks the same. So they're both heading down. It could still be weakness. Disc grind, flush, grind, flush. The index, this is the index. Five's not bad. I mean, if a five breaks down below, watch that, 77, thereabouts, well, then yeah, that could be the lower high. Sort of this low here, 86, 85. Problem is, just needs to do more work. It would back below the hole, but not the 50 there's. Not to really look at that one, but what we'd need is a setup. I don't want to see it slam down. That would just get on my nerves. Yeah. So that sort of grind out there, that I don't like that because it can just go bang. And I want something that's going to pull back to the MAs. You don't want another just area. Let's just pop below, pop back up. The Dow fight back. Bloody bulls over there. Hate it. Look how it's slammed down, took out that low. You got to love them. I sort of range at the moment until sort of that chop on the DR2. I think the central banks have knocked on the door, said, yeah, don't let that go down, please. Trump, get old Trumpy, get his overseas mates trying to help him out. Um, this morning was news out on Iran. I think it was in the US. Brooke put it up, and I did see that headline as well. I didn't read it. News that it's something to do with the elections. They're meddling. You got what do you call them? I say scalpers, not scalpers. Hackers playing around, but they're meddling, and I think that was the gist of it. And they said something about Russia and Iran. Look at that go now. See, it's in the markets down, and they've gone, yep, that's fine now. We've flushed everyone out. We're going to bit of a rally now. See that? Five-minute chart. Just get it up here. I don't think it draws there. Sort of range bound there at the moment. On the Dow, anyway. This what am I talking about? Hang Seng. Dow is hanging in there. So that's a big kick higher. Sort of retest here and hold. We might lift a better retest to these MAs, and then it might be a goer on the upside, which makes things fun. Either that or we're just going to trade the edges. Long into resistance, short into support. So he's squeezing though. The problem with the five, it's kind of an edge day. Just looking at that, I don't really think I want to trade long here on the one. It was rallying. Look at the five. It's kind of choppy in here. We haven't really, I mean, it can happen. I don't expect that expansion and then go again. MA's down, 20 is below the 50 still. You want, it's going to catch everyone off guard. I don't think that's going to be the case. So expect some more chop on the horizon. So Dow itself looks like it could crack. Yeah. Saying that, just watch this. That's putting a bit of a base there. Draw that. Oh, lie, that's not really anything. So that's really the level. That's the opening level there. The hang seen. So that's 12.15. That was a high. The push down. It's come back up. Popped through the high, and now we're just, we're probably drifting back down again. There's a Dow. We'll keep whipping down on the Dow. I just think this could be the way it's looking at. It flushes, drags in shorts, or anyone that's just on the long side, just, kicks them out, boots them out. If you've got tight stops as well. Still not looking like not long, not short, just choppity chop chop. If you think that's going to swing higher. Mm. Yeah, it seems to want to ramp up, but it could just be a grind up what we're seeing on the hang sell in the index, but 5 is grinding up in a downtrend. He's got this little 1 minute trend up. So whether we hold in here and we start to roll, it could just be one of those days where It's tempting to trade the short there, but it still could be chops. This Hang Seng doesn't look like it's too happy anyway. Awesome. Okay, still not seeing anything on the. You see that Dow has just flushed the low. It's not convincing. Just flush to the highs. Really what you want to see is this. If we get some run on and continuation down, then you want. That was at the open there. Yep. You want a bit of a pullback. You want a shoulder to trade off, but whether we just keep flicking around. I've never seen the Hang Seng move so slow. It's trying. It's just whipping back down to these lows again. This mess, what's it going to do? Yeah. I'm struggling to think I'm going to get a chance to redeem myself. Let's see if this moment is down to 5. So I'm looking for continuation where it may not be. It could be the problem. I think if the Dow spikes down, we could go, or we could just flush the low again, flush the low down to here and chop back up on you. I don't like this. See, I've got one move down, it's down to 1. Get rid of that. If you had a move down, it's a big thump up, which really shouldn't happen if you expect a lot of weakness. So you got this move up, pull back below the highs of the session. Sorry, that was the highs, wasn't it? Yep. Well, so that's the high of the session. Back below the highs, tested back up, secondary move down. I don't particularly believe that we're going to thump through the lows here on the secondary move. I would have thought that selling is coming in, you're holding a lower high instead of grinding up, coming down and just thumping down from there. There's no real liveliness to the price at the moment. I mean, yeah, it could go down through 46, but I'm sort of assuming it's going to go down. We've still got these lows ahead of it, and then you'll see this as it goes down and then thump straight back up on you. The VIN rally out. So yeah, that's a move that sort of killed the market, hasn't it? It flushed out and we're giving us 0. LNEC has been good. AMI is back to about even. Nothing too flash at the moment. So look at the index here. That could, it's not going to now probably. Looks like it could drop. I mean, the problem is at the moment, 5. I'm going to go to a different chart actually. That's it. So they've got the 20s down. And it's starting to, flatten out a bit. It's going to take some time to get that 5 maybe flattened out. So that's why I'm sort of still looking at this 5. It could launch down. I'm not seeing any, and the fact that we're down on this zone in here, I'm not seeing any serious reason to be short just yet. Rather see this lower high if it can sort of pop up, hold and lower high come into play. This is a very grindy action on the Hang Seng, which is Dow doesn't look like it's too keen on going down either. Hang Seng's just broken through there, but so we've just gone into that low. Expect potentially just a flick back up again. We've got there, Brooks, at the SPY. Yep. ASX, okay. Bloody thing's going to grind down now. You, MedX. See that pop with it, exactly together. Flushed, ready to go. So now just on the one, could be a short in here, but 5, now we're hanging around the lows. That wasn't open, that was 10 o'clock. So we've got a couple of minutes, and I'm expecting this to finish back above, but I'll have to wait till 2 till any action. All right, so that little flush there, that 5 minute, we've got about 30 seconds on that counter. I'm expecting to finish above these lows. It's just taking out some stops there, flushed it, potential bounce. It doesn't look like, the action's down, the recent action, but there's no follow through. If you get some follow through and then you get a pull back, great. Dow the same, it's grindy, it's not going anywhere. Dow's just dropped. What happened there? It took out this low. Oh, don't tell me they weren't targeting that. And Nick, the Hang Seng didn't go. They just dumped that. 53. No, it's only 15 points. God, it's just the you could be wary of that. Just flush the stops. If there's any stops, any of these longs that stop below the low, it's been flushed, and potentially that's it. So looking now, we've got through these lows. We could just ramp back up. It's a bit of a bid to offer scenario. Dow looks like it wants to kick. It's just not a good entry. Even the index is giving it a bit of a nudge. How's that? Flush the lows here. And then we've rallied off those lows, 38 to 63, 40 points or so. So now, I don't want to go short, I don't want to go long here, but let's see if this holds back in here and we start to lift and go bid to offer now. So 5-minute chart, oh, here we go. 5-minute chart's going to finish, so we could just this finishes off this low and we start to get up through this, we might look, that's decent trend down, that's the problem. Probably just looking for a trade, to be honest. I can see them everywhere. You just got to look hard enough. So even on the one, you got that's pressed down, pop up. It starts to flatten out. That's not going to, I don't think. We could. Bounce back down. So I think if it gets up through here, I'll take along 66 and see if we can get back up to above 600. At the moment, it's still chipping lower. So the index is, it needs to flatten out. Digit's holding this zone, but no reason why we can't just lift from here. Little minor double bottom, but it's not really confirmed. Essentially until we break up through this 600 level. It's about 10 points away. What? Just look at the index. Right, I'm going to go long, I think. Going long. And I've got the low, the high. Oh, RTF. Sorry, Joe, slip of the tongue, mate. Sorry. So if this can give it a bit of a nudge up, great. So it stops below here. Obviously, if it doesn't kick on that expansion, we should get some upside. There we go. Just testing 78. Be nice to 600. Dow doesn't want to go with it, but screw them. So there should be enough shorts in here that you think we get a decent enough squeeze. We didn't get through these. It's just, what does it want to do? So Dow's going the opposite way, which is, let's get back up. If it cracks 600, I'll take a partial. We should just let it ride. Just want to follow this. If it comes back down below 80, I'm out completely. Come on, keep pushing. We've got a lot of reaming to do. There we go. Can we get up to this zone? Some selling. No, not yet. Keep going. Come on. 5-minute candle's about to finish. Just want to just give that last ditched effort. I'm just going to take it there. I'm out. We've got the bounce. I mean, yeah, it could keep going, but that 5 is still down. That's the biggest problem. It's just chop. I'd like to go for more, but and we got more. Yeah, I think it was about 30, wasn't it? We got 40. Just on touch under, I think, 39. So I beat you, mate. So this it doesn't leave me too much confidence that the Dow, the Dow could really roll here. And it looks like it's, look at this down, go to a 5. Yes. Tripping. It is. It is. And that's why I'd sort of a bit concerned about. I was watching, if this keeps going, I'm a bit concerned that this could just, boom, it could spike lower soon. So just keep an eye on that to see if we. And it could just rip, Hard looking for a trend move when you're getting caught in a non-trendy market. So I think I'll stick with the. Let's see what the Hang Seng would want to keep going if the Dow's going to roll. I just don't think they like the US, like many of us. No, I think they're a basket case at the moment, but where else? What do we got here? Yeah, is this another long? Don't think so. I think the index, I shouldn't think. Thinking will get me in trouble. So we're starting to wane on the momentum up, starting to wane here. Not a bad spot that we got out. So one from two, or 1 from 2, whatever you want to look at it. 1 from 1. That's it. 1 win, 1 loss. Up about $1. For slightly more, but it's been a rough. Killing the market's killing us. So that's Just mark it. That's the high. Reaches the high, failed. Got down the lows, flushed them, failed. So we're rangy at the moment. The Dow's gonna nervous we don't rip here. I don't like that roll action, and then I just keep thinking we're gonna rip, but then they technically on the 5 doesn't look good at all. The Dow can do that. So why are we ripping on the Hang Seng? Just got to the index. What am I looking for? So the index just popped up here. So if we're going to go long, I'm anticipating something like that, and then you get that kick up into the late in the session. Just thinking that might hold, and this little thrust. It doesn't have to. It's just these MAs are down quite strong. If we're going to flatten out here, you need at least a pullback. You don't technically see that kind of thing and just ramp straight up from there. But lately, I'm more wrong more often than not. But so again, just reacting off that level, which goes into that 5 minute. You'll see again. I mean, big flush here. We're going to just range that for a bit. Yeah, it's true, Brooke. Let's get home free cash. All right, so it looks like this index might want to take the highs. This might be a flush. This is where we don't do the same thing we did here. Let's just make that a bit more even. Flush the low and then rebound. I think this downtrend is an absolute mess though. Look at the Dow. I just still feel that Dow. I mean, I don't know if anyone people know Davin. You would call that a tap pattern. It's pushed down and it slowly grinds, tap, and you sort of on a tap pattern you want to be short in a way. But I think they know Davin's tap pattern. And they're just going to turn off the pump. Slam it higher. And sometimes when you do that, sudden move down, you try it again, and then that you can see that the steepness of that move down. It may not be going anywhere. Don't you go now, you monkey. This doesn't look like it's going with the Hang Seng. It's always easier for the market to go up without much structure, but not down at the moment anyway, seems to be. Just looking at the index. So again, a bit premature there getting out. Should have waited for that this one to close. Should be trading entries from the 1 onto the 5. So just look, this could roll. We're getting a bit of far away for my liking. We look like we are going to test those highs. It wants to go. Well, then, if you're going to do that, I'm going to short it on you. See who gets these right. Either way, it's a boom or bust. You're going to get a lot more. I'm going to get a lot more. I won't short it. I was just joking about that. Sorry. So if we're looking for a bit of back and fill here, it's just a new candle. Let's see if we short it here, but I'm going to see this second pop up. See if we can get into a lower high and sell into that lower high. And on the 5, whoops. Why does that do that? You want to see that breakdown there, but it looks like it's, to me, it seems to want to hold, but well, maybe not. It's only the first minute. So it's candle's 1 minute old. A big fan. I'm just shorting it. If it gets through here now, I'll probably go short, say 15. It's not the world's strongest signal, but it won't be, if we hold here, sort of shorting it through 15 with stop just up there. Let me hit that low again, am I? Short. We'll see. See if we can make my 10 points, mate. It's probably, the problem is it's going to go in the next few minutes. I don't want to see this 5-minute candle hold up here. I want to see it extend down. I could be out. I need a tight stop above here. Then I'll be down on you. Yeah, they're ramping that back up, aren't they? I'm out. It's a frustrating thing, isn't it? That was 25. So I'm down about 20 points. Oh, now we're going to go, eh? That's a big flush, that was. That was not what I was expecting there at all. We're going from range to just flushing it out. The Dow looks like it's going to pop from here. So we've got, I don't know if we get anything. Not you. For some reason, if I move it over to my other screen, that sort of scenario, we're just not getting that popped. I mean, that could just be everyone's looking at that and we stopped. Hang Seng, are we going to kick on or are we just going to? You better not. So I'm looking on the Dow, but maybe not. See this big flush of the highs. I just think it's a flush more than anything else. But also thought that was going down from there. Looks like it was failing through there, and boom. So 1 from 3 or 2 from 3. It's a big reversal, that is. Whoops. That Dow, the one keeps popping up and then banging it down about 10 points. It doesn't want to go up. So it's like we've got that set up there. Let's see how it's still getting held down. So we could just be, are we going to hold something like that? We're going to pull right back down to here, down to 50 or so. Or it could just jam straight through. That looks like a setup, and then it's not quite playing out at the moment. They're really heavy on it. Boston City will begin remote learning. So why are we all happy about that? They're starting to get those numbers ticking higher, and where the market doesn't want to borrow it. What is that US dollar doing? It looks like the index is running out of puff up here, the physical index. So suggests it's going lower, but that little ramp up there has got me stunned. See, where are we? It's flattening out there, but the ones, one's sort of sitting there, isn't it? Yes. Yeah, mate. So it looked like we were rolling here, and it's had a bit of a jam up. Just looks like it's trying to engineer something on the upside, but well, it's just pumped up there, especially off this move. 1, 2. There's the move at. Maybe push down here, might go short, try another go, depending on what. Yeah, 5 doesn't look too flash hot though. Especially if you got that big spike high. So still, it's 5 could be the go. We get up through this high. It's Dow doing. Dow looks like it could hold a high low, so this my feed's frozen. No, I don't think I'll be trading that on the short side now. This could be the first higher low, which I think it could be. Just not getting anything on that 5-0. So that Dow looked like, to me, it was going to hold the MA as a bit of a pop. Instead, it was just paused, and now the old Hang Seng wants to head south. Oh God, that really got hit, didn't it? Thinking along through here now, see if we can. No, no. Yeah, true, mate. Just wondering if this is going to lift through, or we're just going to get this chop at the top. Just went long here. Take out those highs and spike up a bit. I think it's a washing machine at the moment. Um, I am long the Hang Seng, but it just looks like gets ahead of itself. It's got a flush lower. It can't take out this low here at 50, say. I'm looking at that Dow, see if they can hold as well. It doesn't want to seem to do anything. Just went along the Dow here, see if it can. Would expect it's going to take out that high if it wants to. Could be a bit of a gap fill on the index. Yeah, I'll get that moving. I mean, that still looks the way it is at the moment. Just go bump, and I'll be done. Hang Seng looks, I would expect it to get a bit of life soon. The ASX, I'm looking for that gap fill on the ASX. Sorry, the ASX, when I'm talking about the Hang Seng, just up here potentially 46, another 20 points maybe, but neither of them are doing too much. Just don't want it to get wicky up here. Hang Seng will probably due for a big pullback, you watch. Right, so they're both doing nothing. All right, and so what we're going to do with that US. That doesn't hold, it'll be out just below here, 83, but now. Bloody thing. Ridiculous. Oh, well. You get the setup, and it's just a sucker's rally. If it doesn't go up, will definitely come down. Couldn't script that, could you? Just makes there's got to be a need to keep reassessing it, isn't it? Zero momentum behind these. So that was only a smaller loss on the Dow. Really uncertain which way it's going, to be honest. We seem to be wanting to hold that, but we don't want to follow through. Still thinking the index here could take out this high. I mean, you want to see it do it soon. Dow is not moving. Not down. Why is that intent on going down? And Hang Seng's expanding up. So I'll be out about 55. Yeah, and I'm probably going to get done if this goes down anymore. Don't like that rejection. I'm out. I'll just close it. To be quite honest, I'm getting a tad confused on what's going on. So I was long on the Hang Seng, and I was long on this. That's done, and that looks like he wants to roll. He looks like he wants to go up, but it's just rejecting that high. I think I just have to sit and try to reassess. It doesn't look like there's nothing happening on the outside. It's just this grindy movement. The Dow, if anything, you'd be kind of looking at that for a short, but the 5 minute looks like it's hanging off his MAs. So it looks like a perfect short, and that's probably why it's going to just rip the guts out of everything. Mm. Oh, okay. I can't figure this market right now. I don't know what the Dow's waiting for. I'm going to wait for Europe in 3 hours. Yeah, you've had, well, just Dow's just spiked by now. Probably, I think it's just in search of, I mean, I don't know, to be honest. That looked like a bit, we could have ramped up. You would have expected there's a lot of shorts built up here that it's going to ramp up, but for whatever reason, I mean, the Hang Seng looks a bit heavy. Do I want to be short the Hang Seng, or am I just going to get chewed because we've got the index has just sort of filled that gap now? Yeah, there's only 45 minutes left in the session, and we got, this move up here, got the zero out of it. I think I was long here. I was a short here, stopped, and then neutral up here, and done on the good old Dow. Looks like it's heading south, but not on the 5. We've got this curling on the 1, but we can curl and then depends what they want to do with you. I don't like this wiki action. See through these highs. The same token, it's not. It's still supported at this stage. Still ramping, isn't it? We've got long the Dow down here. I just don't know if it's going to go or not, but it looks like it wants to have a spike. The 5 does, but the 1 looks a bit iffy, especially if the Hang Seng's going to kick on, but neither of them want to play ball. Dead. Dead. See if that does anything. But all right, I might go and get some work done. Actually, I just got the one trade on long in here. This to be rejection, rejection, rejection. I'm just below this low. Hopefully we do kick on, but it could be just dead as a doorknob until later on. Two-way bet, yeah. I don't mind that. You can see the MAs are starting to flatten out, so I'm anticipating a bit of a run at the highs, but the Dow can see that down and back up again. It could just be choppy, and that's what I'm more worried about is the chop until Europe. I think if we can start to lift that back up to these highs, 103, that'd be nice. But I mean, the Hang Seng's is up. We got, where's it, Japan? Japan is look, it's down, but it's not convincing. It's just the deadest market I've seen for a while. All the problems we got, it can't even get a move. All right. Bit frustrated today, so. All right, we might just call it a day there. I'll probably head off. I won't be doing any more trading if this one doesn't work out. I'll just be sitting around watching. So we'll see. Might just have a look at the ASX, plug around in there. So tomorrow I'll probably be on. It's obviously public holiday in Melbourne, so get my alerts done, but no live streaming. It just doesn't seem worth it just at this stage. The best times are US, obviously. We're getting nothing. We've got 1 or 2 moves happened in here on the Dow, but no follow through. This sort of flush down just by grinding through the highs. Could have a sell-off into the close, which is not going to be great. So the Dow seems to be just flushing, and it might pop, it might flush, might pop. I don't think it really knows. So we'll call it a day. Thanks very much for joining me. have a good day, and I'll speak to you again maybe on Monday. Cheers, guys. Enjoy. Bye.